Very good morning and welcome to this session of Business Research Methods. We are in Module 5 and yesterday we had seen descriptive statistics. Today we are seeing univariate, bivariate in this module. So what is univariate? When you are dealing with only one variable. Example for that is time taken to travel. Okay, so with this you can do a variety of analysis and conclusion. What is the time taken if you come through various routes? What is the time taken if you come through various modes of transport? So for some reason we are doing a study on the time taken for travel to visit the college. Univariate, only one. Okay, supposing there is a shirt manufacturer, so he wants to know ideally what is the correct size in inches for people between 20 to 25 in India. So what you are looking at is just one variable, height. So like this, another thing is a very important parameter in health is what is the weight of the baby when the baby is born. It decides on a lot of things: malnutrition level, ability for the child to grow, so on and so forth. So what you're capturing is the weight of the baby. So univariate, only one variable you are studying. There are many examples for this. What does the weather department study? Okay, what do they do? Temperature. Okay, like that there are. What does the Bombay Stock Exchange do? They monitor the prices of stock. So one variable. Okay, so bivariate. So what can you do with this univariate? With one variable, what is it that you can do? You can find the central value, mean, median, mode. Okay, central tendency you can find out. Then you can see what is the spread, range, quartiles, standard deviation you can find out. Statistically, what you can do with that univariate is what we are discussing. And then what can you do? You can do bar diagrams, pie charts, histograms. You can do time series. If you see time series, what is the stock exchange fluctuation? You can do time series. All these things you can do with univariate, with one variable over a period of time or with the existing data. Right? So, bivariate. Bivariate means there are two variables. That is age and weight. Okay, age and salary, age and blood pressure, age and sugar level. Okay, so two variables are there. Marketing examples I will give: profit and territory. Okay, loyalty of customer and brand name. Okay, another example is affiliation to a store, Big Bazaar or any store, affiliation to a store and the various promotional activities that they have. Like this, there are two variables that you are studying. These are marketing examples. HR examples are the satisfaction of employees and salary, satisfaction of employees and relationship with the boss, satisfaction of employees and skills, ability to execute work. Okay, these are HR examples. And so like this, finance examples, what is the variation in stock exchange, variation in fluctuation in the stock market and political scenario. Okay, the okay announcement of quarterly or half-yearly results and the stock market price or the company's price. Okay, like this you can do two variables you can study. What is it that you can do with two variables? You can do cross tables, you can do frequency tables, you can do t-test, you can do correlation test, you can do a regression test. All these things you can do with two variables. Today we will be seeing cross tables, some examples of cross tables, and we will be doing seeing t-test. What is t-test? When is t-test used? What are the conditions for using t-test? All of those things we will be doing today. So example for a bivariate table. So what are the two variables over here? Bivariate, men and women. Okay, two things. So what are they doing? They are trying to do a table for non-smokers, light smokers, heavy smokers. The total population is of study is 22. In that non-smokers, okay, in non-smokers, 45% are women, 27% are men. Light smokers, 36% are women and 36% are male. Heavy smokers, 18% are women, 36% are men. Okay, so if you see the numbers, 10 and 6, 8 and 8, you see this? So there is this is two variables, and they have done a cross table between men and women and they have divided them into three different kinds of smokers: heavy smokers, light smokers, non-smokers. Heavy smokers mean they will say 2 or 3 packets per day. Light smokers means 1 or 2 cigarettes per day. Like that they would have defined and taken the answers. Okay, this is just an example for cross table. Another example, so this is a study in US. Okay, so freshmen are people who are just entering into the graduation. Sophomore is the terminology they use for the second year students. Juniors are the ones who are in the entering into the college, and seniors are the last year students. Okay, so people who are just entering, second year students, students who are first years, and students who are third year. So this is a study, class rank. Okay, so what is it that they want to study is off campus, on campus, where they are living. So supposing they want to have classes in the nights, so they are doing a study to find out how many are living off campus and how many are living on campus. So two variables are there, and then you are doing a cross table for that. Okay, just an example for cross table, what you can do with two variables. And see this, so this is two variables again. What is the temperature of the day and what is the sales of ice cream? So you can keep jotting out 35 degrees, 36 degrees, 40 degrees and sales of ice cream in a particular area from shop 1, shop 2, shop 3. So total sales of ice cream. So you can do a variety of conclusions from this. These are also two variables. Okay, this is just tabulations we are looking at. Now we are seeing what is bivariate, what is univariant and bivariant. Univariant involves single variable. Okay, and so it involves just single variable. It does not deal with cause and relationship. Only one variable. What is the temperature per day? So there is no cause and relationship. It just describes, that's all. The major purpose of univariant analysis is to describe. is to keep on taking the data, and then after 100 years you will see the description, how the pattern emerges. Univariate data uses central tendency. What you can do, statistical applications, what you can do with univariate is mean, median and mode. Then what else can you do with it is range, variance, standard deviation, those things also you can do with univariate. Frequency distribution you can do. Yesterday we had seen bar diagram, histograms, all these things you can draw because those are all comes under descriptive statistics. What are the things that you can do with bivariate? Okay, so with bivariate what you can do is it involves two variables. It deals with cause and relationship. Cause and relationship means moment there is cause and relationship, your mind should automatically say there is a dependent and an independent variable. We will come to this later. Okay, moment there is cause and relationship, that means there is independent and dependent variable. The major purpose of bivariate analysis is to explain phenomena, why it is happening, is it happening, okay, is there a correlation between sales of ice cream and temperature, okay, is there a difference between the weight of children born in India and the weight of children born in UK, US, like that. When there are two variables you are trying to compare, you are trying to find out various explanations. So you can see how it is correlated, you can compare, you can see the relationship, you can see the cause, you can give explanations, all these things. Okay, that's why you use correlation, t-test, ANOVA, all these things can be used for bivariate test. The results show in table where one variable is contingent on the values of the other variable. That means dependent and independent variables. Right. So we will go to now t-test. The first thing that you can do with the two variables is a t-test. The simplest of the test, t-test. What does t-test do? T-test is used to compare two samples to determine if they come from the same population or not. Please understand this. What is population? Let us take an example. Your class is the population. Okay, your class is the population. So, we want to find out whether the scores of male is different from the scores of the female. Clear? So what we are doing, we are taking two samples, male and female, two samples we are taking. All the scores of the male and all the scores of the female. And we are comparing the two samples and seeing whether the class sample, the class average is equal or more. So your hypothesis will be there is no significant difference between the test scores of male and female. Okay, so this is t-test is used to compare two samples to determine if they come from the same population. Okay, if the scores are the same, if the population has any significant, what if they are from, if they reflect the same means of the population. Okay, what are the various types of t-test that you can do? One sample t-test. One sample is you are trying to find out what is the average score of the students who are female in the class. You can compare their score to the overall mean value of the total class. So it is one sample. So what will your hypothesis be? There is no significant difference between the score of the female candidates and the class, the population score. Two sample is what we said. There is no significant difference between male and female scores to the overall population. Independent sample t-test and paired sample. You'll see what they are when it. So this is your independent sample t-test. So what is this? The reason for hypothesis testing is to gain knowledge about the unknown population. Okay. So here the class, the overall class is the population. Okay. So the other examples I will give you all. So you will be able to understand it better. Supposing you are doing a study on IT professionals. Okay. Stress level amongst IT professionals. Okay, so you don't know the overall IT professionals, you don't have knowledge about the overall population. Can you go study each and every IT professional in Bangalore? So you don't have knowledge about unknown population. Okay. Independent sample t-test is applied when we have two independent samples and want to make a comparison between the two groups of individuals. Okay. So example for this is, supposing you take IT professionals from Bangalore and IT professionals from North Bangalore and South Bangalore. So there are two groups now. Or you take IT professionals male and female and compare their stress levels. Okay, so independent sample t-test is applied when two independent samples, male and female, comparison between the two groups. Okay, and what is it? The parameter are unknown. What parameter? The overall sample, the overall universe thing is not known. Okay, so this is where the t-test is used. When you do not know unknown. Okay, your population is your standard deviation, your mu for population is not known. Right. So what is this? When do you use t-test? Do you know the population standard deviation? In that case that we were dealing with, the example that I told you, the stress level of all IT professionals in Bangalore, you don't know the standard deviation. Okay, so then you have taken a sample. Okay, you have taken a convenient sampling method and about 50 people or 80 people you have taken from your colony, people who are residing in your street. So is the sample size above 30? If the sample size is above 30, you do a z-test, z-test. If it is below 30, then you do a t-test. Okay, so use of t-test. You don't know the population standard deviation. So when you don't know the population standard deviation, you use a t-test over here and over here. Correct? So this is one of the conditions of t-test. You don't know the standard deviation of the population. So what's the difference between z-test and t-test? So z-test is used for data with greater than 30 and the data point isn't related. For example, in our both are control, like experimental group and independent group. This you forget thing. We are talking about two samples, okay, and one is so when we have dependent in two groups, for example, one group of male and female, that is the thing. Data is normally distributed, okay, normal distribution curve. Data was randomly selected and the size should be equal, and if not, so it should be more. The sample size should be equal for both the groups. T-test is used when the sample size is small, 30 and below. Data point might be related to each other. Data is not normally distributed. Here the distribution is normal, not normal. Data wasn't randomly selected. Okay, so this is another difference between t-test and z-test. So the selection of data was due to convenience or due to other sampling method. What are the other sampling method? Do you remember? Convenience sampling method, judgmental sampling method, yeah, probability non-probability sampling, you remember? So this is the moment this word sampling you remember, random, you should remember that entire chart. Sampling, random, probability, non-probability, like that. Okay, so only then these are the ways to cross check your memory and see whether you remember the concepts, right? So what are the assumptions for t-test? The assumption is there is an dependent variable and it is an interval and ratio scale. Another very important thing, what are the scales? 4 scales: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale. What is nominal scale? Only when there is numbers assigned to it. Okay, so you should know all these things now because you have finished these things. You should have no confusion when these words are taken up. So dependent variables are interval scale or ratio scale, and independent variable can be anything. It can be a nominal scale or ordinal scale, no problem. The population from which the sample are drawn is normally distributed. Sample is randomly selected. The groups have equal variance, and t-statistics is robust. T-statistics is one of the very good, simple but good statistical tool. So one sample t-test. What do you do with this one sample? Compare information about your sample with the overall population. From the beginning I have been saying your overall population is your entire class. From there you take a sample which is only ladies, and then you can do a study. So like this you can imagine how many different kinds of studies you can do. You can take the entire population of MBA students for the past 5 years and see their work output or their salaries and compare that with male and female. That's a very good statistical analysis like this. How does the sample compare with the population? Okay, so what is the assumption? It is an independent observation. The distribution is normal. If sample size is large enough, then the assumption it is last slide we saw, you can do a z-test. 2 samples. When you have 2 samples, if samples are size lesser than 30, then you should do a t-test. Okay, if it is more than 30, you should do a z-test. 3 conditions are necessary for t-test. What is it? Sample should be random, sample should be independent, each population must have a normal distribution. Okay, right. So what is the hypothesis? So there is an example, just see this example. Okay, there are 8 statistics students and the average mark is 6.8. They sleep for about 6 hours per 6 hours of sleep in weeknights. Okay, the university daily report that students as a whole average 7.5 hours of sleep per weeknight. So does the statistic student get lesser sleep? What is the average? So this is a very typical example for a univariate. You take one variable, you take you take two variables and then you take one scenario and then test it against the population. This 8 students is the sample. You are testing it against the overall university, which is the population. This is the sample statistics. This is the population. Then you are testing it. One-tailed and two-tailed test. One-tailed test is in only one direction. Two-tailed is in both direction. One direction is they are sleeping, there is no significant relationship like that between the hours of sleep. Two-tailed is, one-tailed is they get lesser sleep. Two-tailed is there is no significant thing. We will do, go into depth with this with diagrams and other things when you are doing hypothetical testing. Okay. So some examples for this dependent and independent variables. Okay, customer loyalty is dependent on social media, email, search engine marketing. Okay, one example. So another example, customer satisfaction is dependent on store aesthetics, store assortment, what is available inside the store, store convenience, where it is located. Okay, dependent variable, independent variables. One more, purchase intention, to buy from the shop or not, again is dependent on store aesthetics, assortment of store, store convenience. You can keep adding more independent variables. What else will you add here? Price, promotional strategies used by the store. Like that you can add many independent variables. So this is an example for use of accounting information system for finance students. Okay, people, procedure, data, software, internet, all these are independent variables. What is it dependent on? Relevance of the accounting system to the organization. Okay. Another example, job satisfaction of employees is dependent on training and motivation, performance, employee participation, okay, absenteeism and turnover. Trust in organization is dependent on knowledge, structure, understanding, recruitment, performance appraisal. Okay, so these are examples from various studies that was undertaken. Again, service deliverables, quality is dependent on policies, procedures, accounting standards. Okay, finance example. So you can have a one-tailed or a two-tailed test. We will see. I'll give you all diagrammatic representation when we are doing the hypothesis testing. So this is one-tailed, two-tailed test. You would have already done it. One-tailed test is 5% significance. Two-tailed is between both the sides, 2.5, 2.5. So you will have minus value and plus value. Minus 1.96 and plus 1.96. One-tailed is 5% significance, only one side. Okay, it can be lesser than also. It depends on the statistics. If the rain, for example, you can have things saying that the administration of this medicine decreases the level of temperature. So it is a one-tailed. Why? You have already mentioned that it decreases the level of fever. Another example, the consumption of energy drink increases the weight of children. Okay, so these are directional hypotheses. We will deal with it in depth when we again go to hypothesis. Okay, so this is just, these are the outputs from SPSS. Okay, I just want you all to understand how the output will be and what is the, how you will interpret these are the outputs. Okay, so you please understand this is your p-value output. 0, everything that is 0.0 means it is the reading is good. Okay, magnitude of difference between mean and the group is moderate to large. Okay, if this one is, if it is 2 point, then it is very small. You see, this is, anyways, this is, I'm just showing you all if what kind of outputs would come and how you have to interpret it. If the value is 0 point, then the outcome, I mean how you will read it, how you will think is it is large, moderate to large. Okay, difference between mean of the two groups. Understood? So your null hypothesis is there is no difference between the means. Okay, so like this, if you have, anyway, this is, as I mentioned, you will not be having SPSS output and thing in your exams. It just, exercise, just showing you all how the interpretations are made. So what we have seen today is variety of examples of t-tests, what is univariant test, what is bivariant test, and then what are the examples of univariant, what are the examples of bivariant. Then we said what is t-test, and what are the types of t-tests, what is t-test used for, what are the assumptions that you have in t-test, what's the difference between z-test and t-test, and what are the what is independent and dependent variables, and what are the conditions for using a t-test. So tomorrow we will see the other tests. There is parametric and non-parametric tests. Okay, we will see all the parametric, non-parametric tests, and also this we will see. This we have to see. What is t-test we have done, what is correlation we have to do, what is regression we have to do. Next class we will finish these two tests, correlation, regression, theory like this, and then we will go to parametric and non-parametric tests. Thank you very much.